Hey friends, it's Emily from burlapkitchen.com, and today we're going to make something fun with empty mac and cheese box. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the folds down. That just gives it like a little extra stability. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with some tape, and I'm going to tape the bottom, the bottom part that's sealed shut. I'm going to reinforce it with a little extra tape. This is just going to make it a little sturdier later on when we add a little bit of weight to our cardboard box here. So I'm just taping that down. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint the box red. I'm using red chalk paint. I don't know if acrylic paints would work well on this or not because the box is a little bit shiny. I would probably recommend the chalk paint for this. So I'm just going to dry it, and I'm going to go ahead here and paint the back. You're going to need 2 coats of red paint for this, just so the mac and cheese, you don't see that coming through the box. And I'm just using a cheap chip brush to paint this. So I want to make sure it's nice and dry. And then I'm going to come in with some blue, like I forget what, I want to say it was called midnight blue. It's like a navy blue color. And then I'm going to use my little snips here to snip this jumbo popsicle stick down. If you want my affiliate link to those, just let me know in the comments and I'll grab that for you. So I'm just going to kind of even this up here. I got it a little bit crooked. And I'm just going to measure it. I'm just kind of not really measuring, just laying it on there, making sure it fits the way that I want it to. So then I'm going to come in with this paint, and I'm just going to paint this blue. And obviously you could do this whatever color you want, but I chose to do it blue. And I'm going to paint the back too, just because if it's tilted to the side, you're probably going to see that. Then I'm going to make sure it's nice and dry. And I'm going to take my little sanding block over it just to scuff it up. You could totally skip this part if you don't like the rustic look, but I happen to like that look. So we're going to scuff it up, and then we're going to come in with some antique wax and make it look rustic. So I just dip my brush into some antique wax and then offload some and then brush it onto my project. And I'm going to do the same thing over here with the mac and cheese box. And then we're going to make sure it's nice and dry. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a coffee dyed flour sack. I always get questions on these. I get them with the tea towels at Walmart, and then I just soak them in coffee for maybe 20 minutes. And then just hang them outside on your clothesline to dry. So I'm just going to cut these in strips and tear them. That's going to give me a nice frayed edge, and it's going to look kind of rustic. You're going to need about 3 or 4 strips for this, depending if you want to go. I went the whole way around the box. So I used the whole flour sack, and the long strips just were perfect to go the entire way around from the front to the back. You see how I'm just using 1 strip here? And I did, of course, get my strips just a little bit crooked. You guys know me. I always struggle to get things straight. And I didn't want to rip it back off because I was afraid it would rip the paint off. So I'm just kind of measuring these, kind of eyeballing them to get a little space in between. And then I'm going to trim some of those frays up just a little bit. This one had a lot on. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue this last one down. So I guess I have 3 on there. So 3 strips is perfect for this. And I kind of tucked it, do you see up top there? I kind of tucked it down in the box. And then I'm just going to wrap it around. You want to make sure your bottom there, see how I'm kind of pulling it up tight? You want to make sure that bottom is nice and flush so it sits right. There we go. That's looking pretty good. So I'm going to trim those ends and save those. You can use those for another project. Then I'm just going to go inside the box and glue the tops down of the ribbon, or the flour sack, I should say. That's looking pretty good. So now I'm going to take my little bottom piece here and glue this onto the hat. Make sure it's flush so it sits right. And there was a little piece of the box sticking out, so I just put a little glue in there and just held it down. Then I'm taking a little bag of rice and putting in here for some weight. I wanted to put it in a plastic bag in case something happened, that box would let loose, because it is just a mac and cheese box. So if that would let loose, I don't want rice all over my floor. So if it's in the little sandwich bag, then it's all contained if it would happen to fall out. So then, of course, we're going to come in with some Spanish moss, and I'm just going to tuck that in there. I was going to use this greenery, but I wasn't loving it. So I changed it up a little bit. I found this greenery that had like a little bit of white in. I thought that was perfect for, you know, all your 4th of July patriotic type decor. So I'm just going to stuff that in there. And I don't even know where I got this stuff. I wish I did, but I don't. I also found some cotton, and I thought that would look cute in there. So I took 3 pieces and just kind of stuffed it in around there. And then I glued that Spanish moss down a little bit so it stayed in place. And I'm sorry, you guys are going to hear the street sweeper come by, so it might get noisy. So then I'm kind of practicing here. I decided that bottom needed something. So I decided I'm just going to write USA on the bottom. So if you're artsy, you can write USA. You could do a star. You could do anything down here. But I decided to keep it simple and just go with USA because my handwriting is not the best. And that is honestly the best I can do. So we're just going to do a little easy USA. You could even paint those little wood letters and do a USA if you're scared about writing on it. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this fun project. For more ideas just like this, please visit burlapkitchen.com. Thank you.